Hey everyone, welcome and thank you so much for being here with me on this channel. It is my honor, my pleasure to bring forth messages to you from Spirit. And a lot of times when I feel the pull to give a message, I feel the guidance, I know pretty much what the general energy is. Today I feel a bit of, I don't want to say blockage, but I feel sort of a interesting energy of kind of independence. That's kind of what I feel. Like I know that as we travel on our spiritual journey, we go through learning curves and phases and chapters and things like that, where things change on our path. And so I don't know, I feel like for some of you, you're sort of moving on to something else, to learn something else spiritually. Uh, and some of you, this could even be your last visit here, which I don't take offense because I know that, we all have to move on from certain things. And maybe some of you have gotten what you could get out of this channel, and that's fine. And I do wish you many blessings if that's what's happening. But I also want to say that I'm very proud to be a healer, a messenger, and a student with all of you on this big learning path of ours on this spiritual journey. And so this morning, it is interesting because I'm guided to read from some of the cards, but I also feel like there's some sort of energetic, somebody's bouncing back from a lull or a time when it was kind of, maybe you didn't feel as close to your guides or as close to your divine creator as you had in the past. But I feel like there's some sort of bouncing back from that, okay? I do feel a closeness to this deck today. Trust Your Vibes Oracle cards, and it's a Sonia Coquette. I remember when I listened to Hay House Radio, I used to listen to her all the time, as well as many other great spiritual guides, if you will. And I remember really connecting with her energy, and the energy of her card decks. And that's one of the ones that I sort of just was envisioning this morning when I woke up. So we're going to go through that one. And I do feel that we also have a need to hear something from Rumi. Our, yeah, this is my poetic deck. And the creator of this deck, or the author, if you will, is Alana Fairchild. I do love these cards as well, and I feel like there's some sort of inspirational message there. And I feel like it's an ancient message from some wise counsel in our spiritual journey here for us today. So I really want to, my eye was drawn to the bottom of the deck before I shuffle anymore. The card that came out was Let Go. And we hear this all the time, guys. As beings of energy, we hear this message all the time from maybe different readers, or maybe within yourself. Maybe your intuitive tells you let go. There's some things that have to be let go of. And it's not always easy. It's a scary thing. For me, there's something in my life that I have to let go of, and it is very scary, and I feel it. I feel it in my gut, what I know I need to do. And I have to take those steps forward, and do my part here, and do what I have to do to move forward in my financial, in my emotional, in my physical, energetic energy. So there is a path that I think, and I feel like some of you feel like it's no more, and you don't resonate anymore with something. And believe me, I know these messages can be repetitive, but I feel like for some of you, whoever's here today and whoever's coming in the future to this message, Spirit is saying, listen, I can't say this enough. The path forward requires you to walk through a door and leave it and shut it behind you, okay? Leave behind. I feel like for some of you, this is career. I do feel like it is time to trust in yourself, trust in your guidance, and you don't have to leave someplace with hostility or anger. You can leave with a good reason, and that is, I need to enrich my soul. This isn't doing it anymore. I've mastered this. I'm done here. There's no more lessons here. So it's time to move on and leave with grace, leave with appreciation and, I was going to say dignity for some of you, and leave with confidence. Leaving your mark behind is really important. Leaving on a good note where you know you've done the best you can, and the universe is rewarding you. God is rewarding you for not leaving in strife or in a something that leaves a negative vibration behind. And yes, some of you where you work, it is a negative vibration. It is negative there. Energy is toxic, and it happens. It happens when it's all signs that when it's time to leave, your eyes are wide open now, and you can see what this really is, who these people really are, or you can see that this has not been beneficial for you, and you haven't been treated like the precious gem that you are. And so our guides tell us to let go. Just let it go, because there are greater things up ahead. You know, when you travel and do a road trip and you see signs, you're hungry, you're looking for signs that tell you food this way, lodging that way, gas this way, those kinds of things. So I think sometimes if we didn't have those physical signs to guide us, we would have to rely on our faith and trust that something is coming up on the way, right? And so that's an example of Spirit saying, even if you don't see something right now, try not to get in a whiny or woe is me pity type of energy. Stay in faith and trust that the endless road that you're on, what seems endless, does end, and you will get off on some exit, okay? For some of you, you've been traveling a long time and not knowing where to go, but I feel like for some of you, you may have not seen signs, or you may have not trusted enough in yourself, and maybe have gone back and forth, zigzagging. This way, no, that way. Nope, it was this way. Or maybe it's that way. And so it's when we hyper focus on certain things, especially direction from our intuitive, from our guidance, we can end up blocking our energy and not seeing the way clearly. I am getting a clear view of somebody that I'm seeing a sauna. We need to detox our bodies for some. The physical goes along with the spiritual, guys. So I feel like some of us need a cleansing inside and out, and we need to detox our bodies. And I feel like saunas, when you go in, and make sure you read the instructions, don't stay in there too long. But our pores open up because of the heat, and moisture comes through our skin, the pores, to release it opens up and releases whatever toxins and things like that, right? It's a physical thing, but it's also representative of a spiritual thing, because we want body, mind, spirit. We want to move forward, and we don't want anything blocking us. So if you find a sauna, if you belong to a gym, a lot of gyms have them, you take advantage of it, but make sure you understand to do it the healthy way. I think you need to make sure that you don't overstay, because it can be too harsh on your body, too much heat. But so make sure you seek out instruction on that if you're doing that. I also feel like for some of you, maybe some of you do rituals with the full moon that we just had recently. Maybe you do rituals with the moon, bringing in the moon energy, charging your crystals, maybe even just charging your own energy in the light of the moon in nature, and being one with your own spirit and with the natural energy that supports you. And I feel like spirit is, I just see somebody clearly out there doing that. And it's a beautiful thing. It's not, it's your own creative ceremony, however you want to do that. Some people have full-blown ceremonies. Some people just pray or meditate in the moonlight. And for some of you, you just, it's fine to look out the window. Whatever you do, make sure that you get into some quiet time for yourself, because believe me, I know when you don't, you can run into some challenging energy where it can take you down temporarily, and leave you feeling like you just chaotic energy. And that's happens from time to time with us as human beings. However, during this time, it's important that you understand that we constantly go through doors, open and close doors. Sometimes people open and close doors several times, and that's why you're not moving forward. You have to leave certain things behind, and you have to sort of commit to that. When I was first starting out on my spiritual journey, I would write on a piece of paper some things that I wanted to leave me, the toxic energies or whatever it was. And I would take the list, go where it's safe, not inside the house. I would go outside the house, light it, and do a prayer saying, please take these energies from me, help me to overcome these obstacles. And then I would burn it, because that's a representation of leaving it behind. And I'm telling you that things like that actually do have a positive impact on your forward movement. It takes time, guys. It's a lifelong and lifetimes journeys to keep moving and growing. That's what we're about. That's what this energetic, spiritual energy is. It's moving, constantly growing. And I do believe that those energies, those loved ones who pass over, they're constantly learning too. I believe their energy moves forward to learn and grow in another way, just a different way. And so it's constant growth is what I believe our energy is meant to do. We're meant to grow, to learn and grow on this path. So I feel like that letting go and moving forward is so much more than just the physical moving away. I feel like it is intellectual. I feel like it's financial for some of you, not making the same financial blunders, or maybe coming out of a difficult financial situation and moving forward and closing the door on those lessons you had to learn. Believe me, I went through some financial lessons. It wasn't fun, but I know that I don't have to go through those again. I know that I'm moving forward, and that is all changing. For some of you, it very well is financial. For some of you, career, which goes hand in hand with financial, because I do believe that for some of you, you're going to move forward, but you may experience a little step back at first, very briefly, financially. Maybe you're going to be training or doing something, and then it just explodes and you go forward in a more successful way. I'm hearing sons and daughters. I feel like maybe for some of you, you're closing the door on argumentative situations with your family, and you're moving forward in a better energy, in a non-fighting way. I think some of you come to a truce, and you have mend your fences, so to speak. Mend those triggers that were causing arguments and painful conversations with people that you love. I do feel for some of you, you could be closing the door on, it could be, I don't want to, okay, so I feel, I see a community, so I feel like some of you are walking away from, it could be a circle of friends, but I feel more like I'm going to leave behind all that you've known for many years I feel like it's a job. I do see people moving forward in a with confidence and pride, but pride not in a way like shameful pride. It's more like I'm proud of who I am, and I'm sorry that I'm not that I don't fit within your idea of who you think I should be. So I'm moving forward in my own energy now. I'm putting on my big girl, big boy boots, and I'm venturing forward. So there is some of that going on as well. I never like conflict. I hate conflict. I hate drama. I don't like it. I don't like to deal with it. So I feel like the dramatic part of those interpersonal relationships is you're just done with it. You're tired. For some of you, you both tired and you want to get help to move forward. Maybe you're seeking therapy. For some of you, I feel like it's more, it's on your own and moving forward away from that, and finally taking that step forward. And what was scary at one time, you can't even imagine not being with someone. Maybe it's a lifelong friend or a relative, or maybe it is romantic for some of you, and that's not a bad omen. I'm just saying, whatever situation relates to you, whatever you resonate with, it's time for you to stand on your own. It's time for you to be your own person, make your way. I'm gonna just ask the Trust Your Vibes guides for another card, and thank you. Yes, for some of you, there is something about independence. It is great to be independent. However, you also need to talk to your guides, your spirit helpers, your angels, your divine creator, and take that time, even if it is a few minutes, in quiet and peace. I know I have people in my house, so it is a little difficult sometimes to take a minute. That's why I get up so early to do these readings and to meditate and to allow whatever energy is here to channel through me, because this is my life purpose, and there's no way I'm giving that up because there's just too many people now, which there really aren't, but still it can be a little bit, like, I need a minute. And that's the key. Speak up if you need a minute to yourself. Go in the freaking closet if that's what you need to do. But have some moments in stillness so you can hear your guides, so you can feel into your own intuitive, so you can talk to your God, and so you can clear out some of those negative energies or energies that are just built up from others, and so you can sort through all that and feel your own energy. I feel like for some of you, you might be seeking out. See, is that coffee? What is that? Tea? Okay. You might be seeking out help from others physically. You might be seeking out therapy. anything with mental health, someone to talk to and bounce things off of. And yes, we are so, so blessed to have our guides, our God, and whoever you talk to when you meditate, those from the loved ones that are on the other side, whatever, how that works for you. But I feel in this case, it might be professional help for some of you, your spirit helpers. And I feel like whoever you're drawn to go to for help, they're meant to be in your path at this time. For some of you, it is professional as far as investments, money, health. I'm seeing medical. For some of you, I'm seeing a library. So education, you need to be educated in something as far as like to help yourself move along as well as the universe. So being a teammate with the universe to move forward is something that you're working towards. I know the older I get, the more I think about my future as far as retirement and what I can do to bring in extra income streams of money. I do feel personally that we are expected to do our part here too. That miracles do happen, and oh boy, do I know about that. But we also are here to make decisions and choices and move forward and help ourselves as well. Okay, I'm not saying that you can't win a boatload of money on the lottery or anything like that, because that happens. But I am saying that you have to use your intuitive. You have to educate yourself as to what's the best option for you, for your family, for your career, for your schooling, for whatever it is, to move forward. So I do feel that there is some sort of help here. And I feel like we are reaching out to, now we know we need help with something, right? And let me just reiterate, I trust so much in miracles because they do happen. And sometimes things kind of just out of the blue come to us, and it is a blessing, and it is a miracle. And trust me, I believe in that. But sometimes we do need an extra helping hand. And in those cases, however that resonates with you, that's what's happening here. I do feel like you're just like, I don't know what to trust anymore. On the internet or wherever. I need a professional to help me and to guide me through this, where that could open up doors for you to move forward. So the universe does, I do believe that people are sort of not thrown into our path, but guided to our path, even if they're not spiritual. Maybe they're just feeling like they should go this way, not that way. And that's because they need to cross your path or you theirs. There's a reason. And so I believe wholeheartedly that there is a solution and a resolution to something that you were kind of perplexed about, or you want to make this work, right? You want to make this work. And I feel like for some of you, walking in nature helps. But I also feel like this card represents grounding yourself. Maybe I feel the best way for me personally is out in nature. And I do feel like it's really important to move ourselves forward, literally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. But do you see behind this person, there is an angel? And this, I feel like whoever this resonates with, you seriously need to work on chakras and rebalancing your energy. And I feel like being more grounded. There's something about those of you who are totally immersed in, how do I say this? It's important to be spiritual and trust guidance and trust in signs that you see and all that. But it's also important to balance that out with your own intuitive, your own energy, your ability to make decisions. So I feel like for some of you, you may be just totally reliant upon the sky opening up and something falling into your lap. No offense at all. We've all been there. And there's nothing wrong with expecting those miracles. But sometimes people get too immersed in really looking, going out of their way to look for the signs. I want to just tell you a quick story about someone that I worked with a long time ago. And she was very much, I don't know if I want to say fanatical, but to that degree. And we had many talks about signs and learning to recognize the signs when spirit is trying to, or our guides are trying to get in touch with us to let us, give us a heads up or to just guide us. And so she would go out of her way to find feathers. Her thing was feathers. So she would go out of her way to look for feathers, which to me kind of means you're taking control of that situation. I feel like when you are given a sign, you'll know it. And you don't need to go and hunt down or search out signs like feathers. But that's me personally. And maybe if that helped her, good for her. I'm so happy about that. But what my point is that we have a tendency to not have enough faith in ourselves, in the universe, in our guides, in our God. And I get it, because sometimes life throws us a curveball and we lose faith. I get that too. And I could have been so angry at God and any spiritual, beautiful, light energy that came my way. I could have been very angry when my son was killed. But I turned to inward and up. I don't want to say upward, but inward and to my guides for help in getting through this. And I have said many times, people have asked me so many times, how do you deal with this on a daily basis? And I said, I have faith. I lean on my angels and I lean on God. And I have noticed that I haven't had the hatred or the bad feelings towards whoever did this. And I think that's my guides. That's my energetic being protecting myself from that energy, because I don't want it in my life. And it was a horrible thing that happened. And when the time comes for that person or persons to be convicted and caught of, and maybe for karma to come back to that person, then it happens when it's supposed to. I can't control that. I can't get into a daily routine of hating. I can't. It's not who I am, and I don't want it in my life. And so walking it off, being taking charge of your growth, your forward movement, and you have guides right there with you, watching, right there to help you if you fall, to help pick you up, to guide you, to inspire you, to motivate you, to wipe your tears. I think of Archangel Michael when I think of that. But we all have our spirit guides with us, always, and we lose sight of that sometimes, I believe. So that grounding energy is really telling us to get in an appropriate space to let the quiet happen, and let yourself just breathe. And I had someone ask me before, how do you do that? How do you meditate properly? And I said, listen, you've got to do it your way, but you have to allow your mind to clear. I always think of it as water draining in a sink, how it kind of goes down and swirls down into the drain. Like those chaotic energies, just envisioning those going down the drain and leaving you so you can breathe, and so you can feel your own energy and feel the energy of light, your guides guiding you through this this time in your path where there is change coming, and they want you to be prepared for it. So I'm going to I feel there's another card here somewhere in this deck that wants to talk to us. Thank you. Okay, so it's funny, I got two cards. I felt there were two. Body talk and laugh. Okay, so these two cards, I don't want to get that too close to the flame. Let me just do this. Goodness. All right, I'll do it like this. So body talk, I feel like our bodies are talking to us and giving us signs, right? There's a time to let go. There's a time to move forward. There's a time for stillness. There's a time for beauty. There's a time for aggression to move forward. There's a time to put a fork in. There's a time to release so you can walk through that door that has been locked to you. There's a time for education. There's a time to ask questions and to receive answers. Number 7 to me is a very spiritual number, so I believe our body is trying to align with our spirit, right? There's a time to surrender to love. There's a time to reach out. Our body is trying to tell us. So that's what I believe. Our mental, physical, spiritual, emotional body is trying to talk to us and tell us. Let that chaotic energy leave you. Let something go. Let it be behind you and move forward, because there's so many things waiting for all of us to experience some new thing in your path, in your life, right? And so Spirit says, laugh along the way. Laugh, right? Maybe some of you haven't laughed in a while. Maybe, there's lots of funny stuff on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram, on different platforms. Or watch a movie that's funny. Do something to make yourself laugh, okay? Have some fun. Let loose, let go. See the mask or the face, whatever outline, and all that stuff in the background. I see that as energy leaving you that doesn't, it's energy that has held you back and made you sad. I also feel like some of you may have been wearing a mask and not being truthful to who you really are, not being truthful to, not allowing your happiness to come through. And I think that maybe on the flip side, some of you may have been masking pain or discomfort by some people nervous laugh or nervous smile when they're trying to cover up pain, right? So I feel like that's also resonating for some of you. And it is interesting how on this journey there are things in our life that hold us back. And really, if we take the time to get into those moments to ourselves, by ourselves, within the energy of love and light, we come to a place where we feel relief, a release of tension. I think for some of you too, you may be indulging a bit too much in some things that are self-medicating for you. And I'm not saying don't ever partake, because, a good glass of wine is good, whatever you do, just make sure you don't do it so much that you're blocking your energy, because you also have to rely on your inner light to kind of bring you out of whatever funk you're in, and to rely on your guides to help you in a more healthy way, right? For some of you, including myself, sometimes it's a certain food that you just binge on because it's like, it makes you feel good. Maybe it's a feel-good food or like a security blanket. But the key is to replace those habits with something more healthy, right? Again, I'm not saying don't drink or whatever to make yourself feel better, because I feel that personally, it's okay to have social drinks. But I'm not going to go there too much. But I will say that you know yourself, and you know what makes you feel good. For some of you, it could be you need a massage, you need Reiki. For some of you, it could be that you need a swim in the ocean, or to be near water. For some of you, it's to be in the forest or in the woods or near rocks, stones. I'm seeing stones, making rock formations, or just really touching the earth. For those of us in New England, it's important to be able to get outside, even in the winter when it snows, to get outside and to experience the energy of the earth. Yesterday, I was in my backyard, and we were looking at some of the trees that still had the leaves on them, and one of my little trees that has struggled over the years to catch up to the other trees. I was sort of just saying, putting my hands on the tree and sharing my energy with the tree, and just knowing that energy is a shared energy, because it's all living things have energy. They are energy. And so I didn't feel like, oh, someone's going to think I'm crazy. I just knew that I needed to, sort of feel into my own positive energy and share that with that tree. It does need help, but it has shown much progress over the last few years, since I started communicating and kind of just sharing that healing energy. But so I feel that there is something that we need to all do, to bring out the light in us, the laughter. This world right now is a crazy place, but we can shine our light. We can be the lanterns, right? In that crazy darkness of what is right now. It's so easy to get caught up in negative and hatred feelings for political leaders and candidates and those kinds of things, but it's not in our best interest. What I feel is I've gotten caught up in conversations where it's sort of heated because, just heated because we're sort of disgusted with certain things going on in the world. But would it be more beneficial to put positive energy out there? Maybe not even to say, oh, that personal change, but to bring in a lighter energy, a better energy for forward movement for our country. But I'm not getting political again. I'm not doing that. So I feel like there's one more card in this deck that I want to talk about. Thank you guys. Yeah, see? Two. I've been getting the 2 cards lately. You're the boss, right? You think you've been a puppet on a string all this time? Not really. You're in control. And I think you're meant to share that, how do I say this? I feel like our manifestations come in when we feel we're in more control. And I don't mean going out and purposely finding white feathers. I'm saying that when we take control of what we need to let go of and our spiritual growth, I feel like the universe sees that as a solid target to bring to you and open up those manifestations and gifts to you, because you did your part. And I feel like share a breath. So like I was saying about the tree, sharing that positive energy with that tree, because next year or in the spring, I want to see that tree grow exponentially. And so I've been working on that and we'll see what happens. I do have faith, and some of those around me don't. Naomi, you need to take that tree down. I'm like, no, it has leaves. It's growing every year, so there's no way I'm taking that tree down. I do not give up. No one gets left behind, sort of thing. So I believe that that's an energy that is is important right now, right? Being able to be on the same page with your guides, with the universe, and being strong in your forward movement of growth, spiritually, energetically, mentally, physically, emotionally, sharing energy like we are right now on this channel, guys. I feel like, yeah, for some of you, I feel like 4 is celebratory number, and 9 is like, you're right there at the pinnacle of leaving or moving forward. That's what I'm trying to say. 9 is almost like closing the circle, so something cycle is at an end. But share a breath, right? Sharing that beautiful energy with, and accepting energetic help from maybe even a spiritual person in your, I don't know if I want to say tribe, but in your spiritual sort of place, right, on your journey, because there's others that share that spiritual energy with us. You ever notice that? Sometimes you just click more with someone's energy than you do with someone else's. And so I feel like those energies will be coming in. People that maybe you share a past with in the past life, maybe, or a past life. But it's like, it's almost like help is on the way, but I feel like it goes both ways. Not just someone's coming to rescue you, you're also meeting someone halfway, and there is that kind of trust and energy coming in for you. Sharing a breath. It's also going to bring in a playful energy. I this picture, for whatever reason, I don't know, it reminds me of graduating from childhood to look at life as an adult, as a playground, and enjoying and learning and enjoying the experiences, putting a positive light on the experiences that you've had so far. And I do believe that that we are no longer in a sleep hold, in a sleeping energy here, because now we're taking charge to move forward. And if you see the number 5, I've been seeing a lot of 5s lately. 555, 555. All of a sudden, it just pops in when I'm just sitting to breakfast or working or whatever. I see that number 5, and I feel that, because I know, and I'll always acknowledge, thank you, higher self, or thank you, guides. I know change is coming. And I always get that intuitive feeling, like when that 5 pops in, I know. Pay attention to what you're doing when that, or thinking when that 5 pops in, or that number of change pops in, because it really is an indication that change is coming for you in some way. Yes, it's a significant change. It's always for the better. It's good to, when you experience those, seeing change, those numbers, to pray or talk to your guides and ask for guidance through these changes, that whatever's coming in, to help you understand that it takes faith and trust to move through changes, okay? Because sometimes they can be shocking. But they are happening. And like I said, with the cleansing of your chakras, it's really important, guys. Some of you may need a mineral bath, is what I'm hearing. Some sort of healthy cleansing to further... I used to use Epsom salts for my feet, because my feet used to hurt when I had a job where I was on my feet a lot. And it really does make a difference. Whatever can help you draw out those toxins in your body is really important to do that. Maybe it's if you have a bathtub, taking a bath with candles in the dark. It's relaxing. It's romantic. Physically, spiritually, emotionally, it's like very easy on you. in those situations. For some of you, maybe it is swimming in an ocean. For some of you, in a lake. For some of you, maybe it's, like I said, relaxing in a nice bath, or maybe being in the rain. Just don't be in a thunderstorm. But maybe letting the water and nature touch you. Right now, the seasons are changing. In the last few days, it's been in the 70s, near 80 here in New England and Connecticut. And it's been really nice. So if it rained, it would have been pleasant if the rain touched your skin. But when it's cold out, obviously you have to be careful with that. But our bodies need cleansing. And I know for myself, I need to have chakra clearing. Sometimes maybe you could go to somebody who is a specialist in that. I feel like crystals are in order for your body, mind, spirit, rejuvenation. Are there any more cards, guides, from this deck? Because this is I don't know if I've ever used this deck before when I've done readings on this channel, but let me see. I don't think... I do want to read from Rumi, because I do feel Rumi is important here today. This instant feedback card, see the 9? You make a decision. This is what I'm feeling. There is some sort of decision. You make a forward movement, and instantly there is blessings that come in for you. Something you maybe didn't count on. You're moving forward, and somehow you're not quite sure about the money, so you've been kind of holding back. But to me, it feels like there is an increase coming. But you have to do your part too. So that's why I feel this 9 is in order here. It is like closing. There's 2 9s in this deck now, maybe more in this reading. But 9 is a sign of completion. And I do feel like that sort of like a king energy, the king to me is a ruler taking charge and a royalty. So I feel like there is some sort of improvement and upward movement when you make a step to move forward with improvement in your life. And then I think the increase in finances follows that. That's what I feel with that. Let's go on to the Rumi cards, because I feel like there's something important that needs to be shared with all of us in the general energy. I keep looking at the bottom of this deck, and it does say clear your past. So whatever has to be cleared out is going to happen naturally for you. It's not like you have to go to somebody and say, I'm clearing my past, you're done with me, you're dead to me now. No, it's not like that. It's not like that at all. It's clearing. There's something happening naturally within your energy that's clearing out, that's really best in your best interest, because the universe steps in and says, yeah, this forward movement, yeah, we're going to make this happen. That happened to me one time with a job. And I kept getting signs to leave. It's not healthy anymore. You need to leave this place. But I didn't look for jobs. I was too scared. And it finally happened without me doing anything. The universe intervened, and I was out. So things happen for a reason and for the best. When they happen like that naturally, sometimes that's for the best. So there's some kind of lesson to be learned, or your guides or your divine creator wants you to be safe and happy, so they pull you out somehow, whether it's layoffs or whatever it is. But if you feel like you have to move on, start looking out there to see what there is. Start meditating and focusing on, what is it that I need to do next? Do I need to go into the same field? Do I need to learn something new? Meditate and trust your intuitive, trust your guidance. Let's see here. I'm going to consult the book on this. I usually don't look at the books on these readings, but I feel like these are poems mostly, so I feel like whatever it is that has to be said is I have to read from it, okay? Because we will get something out of that. Let's see, number 30. All right. It's called Whirling. Whirling goodness. Do you see how this picture is? It sort of looks like someone dancing, whirling around in happiness and beauty, right? So I'm going to read this to you from the Rumi card deck. Again, I'll show you, right? I will read what I feel I'm led to read from this, so bear with me. There is somewhere that you are meant to be. It is here, now, in this moment. There is a gift right under your nose and a fragrant wine in your glass, gleaming red as the most precious rubies. To be here now, you must pass through the keyhole, but your head will tell you that this is not possible unless the door is unlocked. Even though your body is passing through the keyhole of that locked door into the endless world beyond, leave your mind to be in its struggles for a moment. Without you laying witness to it, your mind will become like the dog howling for his master's return. Even as he steps out the front door, frustrated temporarily, he will chew on some shoes, then fall asleep peacefully until his master returns. So leave your mind trusting, chewing a little until you are truly through the keyhole when it can rest. Leave it be. Instead, come dance. This oracle brings you a message. You are at the point of growth where your mind can hold you back rather than urge you forward. If you have, like so many, used your mind to support you, to shore up your sense of self in the world and to gain sense of certainty about how the world works, then this is no easy task. It will seem as though you are being asked to pass through the keyhole. Of course, your mind will stop and argue for all the reasons why the door should be opened instead of remaining closed, making the task seem so much harder than it needs to be. But this is the mind in resistance. Don't place too much stock in the claims that life should be other than it is. You are being asked to dance rather than understand, to lay the thoughts to rest and to come alive. It is the bravest, most trusting soul that dares put the mind to one side and say, "Tonight we dance, my heart and I, in the great rousing music of the beloved's beating heart, and I will not miss one step." And to awaken the next day and to awaken the next day and do that all over again and again and again. You are ready, you see, sweet soul dancer. You are ready to live beyond what you know, to have it not matter if you don't understand how life can work itself out, or how it can be that someone so normal and ordinary as you and I could be so magnificent, wild, and divine. The need for answers and plans, assurances and explanations is passing out of your world now. You are not to wait for permission, for explanation, or even for another dance partner. For I am already inviting you to the great dance floor. You are to let go of any stigma around you, knowing when someone asks what you are going to do next or how you are going to manage, you are given this divine mandate with relish, with revealing the truth. I don't know. Know nothing and dance, sweet soul, for all will unveil itself to you in perfect harmony and timing. Your heart shall create the steps in response to the music of the spheres happening now, alive and spontaneous and free. This oracle brings you a special message. If there is an issue apparently unsolvable or unknowable in your life now, the divine is handling it. The divine is in the middle of it, working through the knot and unraveling it. Fear not. Do the sacred ritual and give yourself permission to take the night off from worry. Repeat this heavenly prescription daily as needed. Say aloud, I give my heart permission to lead this dance. I give my mind some time off. No more worry or doubt, planning or resisting. Instead, I surrender. Instead, I open. Instead, I allow. I allow. I allow. And all unfolds with perfection, divine timing, and the miracle of grace, with Rumi as my sole witness. So be it. You have completed your honoring ceremony. How perfect is that poem and that card? Oh, does it go with whatever we talked about here, what Spirit brought in? And so know that this is going to be a awakening experience for you. The lessons learned, the practicing rituals of letting go of fear and of worry. And for those of you, if you have this Rumi deck, it's number 30 in the book. Let me go back to it. And it's called Whirling Goddess, okay? And so if you want that, I can also take a picture of it maybe, if I can post it, I'm not sure. And you can look at it. That is a beautiful, beautiful message for all of us. And I highly encourage you to get in those moments and say, give yourself permission to free your mind. Last week I did a message, my painting in the background with a swing. I told you, we're coming to freedom. We're coming to sit on that swing and swing to freedom. And that is clearing our mind and being a child again in that playground, in having fun, where all your thoughts are is about having fun, right? So clearing our minds, allowing ourselves, we are our own prison keeper when it comes to our minds that way. Giving ourselves permission to experience the freedom from worry, from doubt, and from fear. Do something soon, today, this moment, in the next day or two, to cleanse everything, your body, your mind, your spirit. Give yourself permission to experience that freedom. Because once that happens, the gates open and opportunities come in, blessings come in. Loving yourself, taking care of you, is really crucial in our forward movement in our spiritual journey, okay? Guys, this has been such an honor and a pleasure, and it always is a learning experience for me as well. And I really do wish all of you a beautiful, beautiful day and days ahead. And know I'm here with you. I love you. And we are on this journey, on our own paths, yet together to support each other, okay? It's very important to me that all of you feel good when you leave this channel. All my love for all of you. Namaste.